War ready. War ready. War ready. War ready. Blue suede, the blue suede, the blue suede. Get the bouquets, bouquets, the bouquets. The girl snitch regardless, Mitch showed us. Switch my mama raised soldiers. Okay, yeah, maybe I shouldn't. Okay. Hello everyone. I said a couple days ago that I would probably listen to a Vince Staples album after the Earl album. And here we are. Keep going with the 2015 stuff. Because Vince Staples, a guy that I really appreciate as an artist and a rapper, he had my album of the year last year. Guess what? He dropped in 2015. Just like a bunch of other artists that I like. This 2015 album being Summertime '06. This one I've been putting off for a while because I practically listened to almost every Vince Staples album. Listen to Hell Can Wait, Prima Donna, Big Fish, FM, pretty much everything but this one because I knew it would be the 10-year anniversary this year, of course. So yeah, this is probably the last Vince Staples album on streaming services that I need to go over. I know there's one mixtape that was pretty notable from Vince before he actually started, dropping albums, but it's not on it's not on streaming services, unfortunately, so I can't really do that at the moment. I mean, I can literally go on YouTube, but that's not the point. So yeah, every Vince Staples album I've heard but Summertime '06. This is basically what started the whole boom for Vince, because he's had a bunch of very notable verses with Earl Sweatshirt, and then he had like a little bit of a mixtape and stuff, and then obviously his Hell Can Wait mixtape project, I don't know, but I think this is the debut studio album for Vince Staples. And yeah, it basically set him off because as you can see, there is a song here with around 200 million streams, Norf, possibly Vince's biggest song, definitely his biggest up until this point. I brushed on it a little bit at the beginning of my Dark Times reaction. It's made some controversy with a certain woman that had gone viral around the time. This is the, I guess, proper jumping off point for Vince into the musical landscape, which would then bring him to his other albums like Big Fish Theory, FM, and then his 2020s run, which I think has been pretty solid, especially, Dark Times, my favorite album of the year, last year. Vince is a guy that I just really appreciate his the output he's given. He can range from cold-hearted and not give a fuck attitude to like reflective tracks about his life and how brutal his upbringing was, to freaking dance tracks. Yeah, so he's a very varied rapper, but like it's still pretty solid and it's still really great, and plus the guy is kind of funny even if he doesn't try to be, but that's for a different discussion, I guess. I think we should get into it, but first, like always, we must get the formalities out of the way. We need some genius lore. Summertime '06 is the debut album of Vince Staples, released on June 30th, 2015 through Def Jam Recordings. After a handful of EPs and mixtapes, it was finally time for the California native to drop his debut album. In a long Instagram note, Vince explained the meaning behind the title. Summer of 2006, the beginning of the end of everything I thought I knew. Youth was stolen from my city that summer, and I'm left alone to tell the story. This might not make sense, but that's because none of it does. We're stuck. Love tore us all apart. On the 6th anniversary of its release, the Long Beach MC revealed that Summertime '06 is not actually a double disc album. Executive produced by No ID and Coy Blacksmith Smith. The project is predominantly solo work and boasts an impressive 20 tracks broken up into two discs, 10 tracks each. View the full liner notes here. I'm okay with that. Alright, cool. Yeah. We got 20 tracks to go through. This album cover. It's very I'll say it's simple, but Vince's album covers haven't been like super, what's the word? Like, I don't know. His album covers definitely have been more on the simpler side. Unless you're looking at FM, which I think is his most like crazy-ist album cover. But yeah, I mean, whatever works for what the time being. Summertime 06, Vince Staples. June 30th, 2015. 20 songs, almost an hour. Track number 1, Ramona Park Legend, Part 1. Big Fish Theory? Yeah, this is pretty eerie. Dark Times reference? Our next track, Lift Me Up. Okay. I'm gonna let Vince cook, because he's always known to cook.
I'm just a nigga until I feel my pockets different. My mama was a Christian. Like you, we partner. Auntie Angie had them.
Oh, reference.
So fit just like Moses. And Moses look cockpit. Look like Jeffrey Dahmer, but he looking at me to live it up. Can the motherfucker breathe? Lift me up, lift me up, lift me up.
Ugh, this beat though. Lift him up, lift him up, lift him up, lift him up.
I never vote for presidents. All these white folks chanting when I asked him where my this shit ain't Griffin, though we really killing. See, this weight is on my shoulders. Pray Jehovah breathe.
Kind of motherfucker, breathe, please. Lift him up, lift him up, lift him up. Is this still Vince on the outro? Yeah, this song is a pretty good tone setter for the album, I'll say that. Show you what Vince lived through. Or, well, it's just a little introduction, a little taste of what Vince was... I'm assuming is gonna show what he's been through. Premiered by Vince Staples at a show in Las Vegas on May 15th, 2015. Contrasts the rich, upper-class lifestyle with the grit of his own living in Long Beach in the summer of 2006. Vince grew up in the north side of Long Beach, a place where violence endured and seemed impossible to overcome. In an Instagram note about the album, Vince explained how this summer shifted his perspective on the world he knew, twisting it into a more violent but real outlook on the world. At the end of the day, we're all dead anyway, at least where I come from. Love tore us all apart. Jabari, Chris, Shard, Tom, Richie, Tyson, Tony, Shelley, Phil, holy, Marcel, Brandon, Steve, Jaron, Tay. Too many to name, too much to forget. Summer of 2006, the beginning of the end of everything I thought I knew. Youth was stolen from my city that summer and I'm left alone to tell the story. Vince is saying he wants God, or Jehovah in this case, to lift him up to heaven rather than continue his current life in Long Beach. Could be a clever wordplay stating weight is on his shoulders, therefore dragging him down. Seeing countless homies die, pills and liquor help him forget reality, live it up by not remembering. Can a motherfucker breathe? Vince can't seem to catch a break. Life ain't always what it seems. By looking at the average person, we have no idea what they are going through. Vince describes his pain through this, again to the beginning. All the weight is on his shoulders. He wants God to bring him up, either to heaven or just to get through his troubles. Yes, sir. The only presidents who have ever made an impact on the hood aren't the ones currently running, but the ones on dollar bills. None of the presidents ever try to change the situation in his hood, and the only thing that seems to affect it is who has the most cash. Hey, we know someone also dropped in 2015 who kind of brushes upon this subject. Obama say what it do. Of course, two of those guys, Hamilton and Franklin, weren't actually presidents, and two of them, Washington and Jefferson, owned slaves. Only Lincoln and Grant could really be said to have changed the hood by fighting to end slavery. So really it's more likely the only presidents that matter are the dollar bills themselves. Damn. Hard. Zulu, my 44 loaded, I'm aiming at Nirvana. Well, hello Nirvana. Yeah, cool. Very good introduction track to, set the tone for this album. Good stuff. Good stuff. And next we're already heading into it. Next track, track 3, Norf. Okay, here we go. Here we fucking go.
Bitch, you thirsty,
Please grab a Sprite. Lurking, don't die tonight. I just want a crazy man down the ave and get shaded. Dip funk in the whip, slide right back into function. One, put that on my Yankee hat.
I'm a gangster crip.
Fuck gangs, every real, know the difference. Brandon Brown like the dope daddy. What he know? I ain't never ran from nothing but the police. I ain't never ran for nothing but the police. From the city with a skinny scale, strong heat. Northside Long Beach, Northside Long Beach. Folks need Porsches, hoes need abortion. I just need y'all little witnesses. No face, no case, been with the shit. Fun couldn't bring my gun. New change gonna come like Obama today. Say you got a problem with me. How I'm crippin' where I'm living, come and follow me. I ain't never ran for nothing but the police. I ain't never ran for nothing but the police. I ain't never ran for nothing but the police. From the skinny with a skinny carry strong heat. Northside Long Beach, Northside Long Beach. Like him. Hey, it's frozen over. I ain't never ran for nothing. Nothing but the police. Nothing but the police. Police. From the city with a skinny carry strong heat. Northside Long Beach. Northside Long Beach. Hey. Yeah. So that is a fucking banger. I know we're gonna be a little premature already talking about this, but if you have been keeping up with Vince Staples' music lately, a lot of people have criticized him for not really making a song like Norf Norf again. Basically how it goes is that he drops this album and it's like cold-blooded raps, dark shit, and a lot of people seem to have liked it. But Vince pretty much had gotten tired of rapping about stuff like this, and that's why you get something like Big Fish Day, which, if you haven't heard, it's really rooted in a lot of electro dance music, and I'm sure people who heard Norf Norf and like went straight into Big Fish Day are like, what the fuck is this? And basically it's been a little critique, or I don't know, way to discredit Vince ever since, when a lot of people go, hey, can we get that 2015 Vince? Can we get that cold-blooded rapper Vince back? And then Vince is like, no. And you'll see in his music, like his latest music, where he's like, I don't want to talk about that kind of stuff anymore. I don't want to rap about that stuff. He wants to rap about, you know, positivity now. And yeah, of course that isn't to say that he has denounced his past music, because I'm pretty sure he probably still plays Norf Norf, because like, even if he doesn't mess with the messaging anymore, it's like, I mean, it's still a banger. It's still a banger song. But I mean, if Norf Norf is the only song that you've heard of Vince Staples, I mean, I guess I can kind of see where you're coming from, but like, I mean, Vince doesn't always have to be talking about, you know, killing people all the time. In the most general, simplistic terms. I know I can never hold a candle to what Vince has experienced in his life. You know, I just never grew up like that. But I can appreciate the music. And like I said, it's a fucking banger. One of 3 Clams Casino produced tracks on Summertime 06. Norf Norf finds Vince Staples pridefully repping his origins, the north side of Long Beach, California. Vince talked about the city in an interview with Self-Titled. Long Beach is the suburbs. Not in the sense of safety or of how it looks, but in the sense of how it's set up. Everyone knows everyone. It's a small place, not one you get out of, and it's really difficult. Whether you talk economically, racially, it's not the same as LA at all. Nobody do nothing in Long Beach but gangbang, but we've been doing that our whole life. In October of 2016, a video of a Christian mother analyzing the lyrics surfaced. Here we go. The video went viral and the song was made popular again a year after its release. In October 2016, an 11-minute video of a Christian mother of 4 ranting about Vince's Norf Norf being played on 104.5 radio surfaced social media. After expressing how she was displeased with the words she heard while dropping off her daughter, the woman went to say, "We need to pray for guys, for our youth." Is this the video right here? Oh, it's not available. What? Is it? Maybe. It's definitely still out there. Yeah. Oh, nope. Oh.
Bitch, you thirsty? Please grab a Sprite. My crip's lurking. Don't get shaded. Take a nigga mind off that. We can.
When she recites the lyrics word for word, I mean word for word. Yeah. She shed a real tear for this real gangster shit. Oh my god, man. Yeah, there's also like a portion where she like breaks down over the hoes need abortion line, and it's like, yeah, it just, I don't know. I'm not here to like socially analyze the I guess, racial divide between this lady's experiences and fucking Vince Staples, because obviously this lady probably hasn't had a whiff of what Vince has experienced, but still. It's still really funny when you're just looking at it as some lady getting really riled up on this. But I know there is probably some deeper conversation to be held about musical lyrics. I'm pretty sure even Fantano has made a reaction video about this. Yeah, there's a video of it right here, and yeah, there's definitely some conversation to be held about it. I mean, Vince is just rapping about what he's experienced. I don't want to question the validity of everything he says, but you know, it's just you know, different experiences, different upbringings. In an interview with Tyler the Creator, Vince has said that the concept of the video was based off the Andy Griffith Show, specifically mimicking the emotion versus content contrast in that it's a lighthearted show about people being inside of a jail. Vince talks about his intentions to communicate the irony he sees in Long Beach by creating the Andy Griffith Show in reverse. It's such a beautiful place and it's such an angry atmosphere. We're in the best place possible. We're at the end of the fucking earth where everyone wants to be, and we have the wrong outlook on life. I just wanted to show that clash. He replied to the Norf mother. Vince tweeted a handful of tweets regarding the incident. Vince expressed that it was not a funny video and that it should be taken seriously. He also thinks that she was a bit confused and unaware of the context of his lyrics, causing her to get scared. I don't really have much to say about the video. I don't think it's funny at all. It's not right to attack someone over their stance, their opinions, and their religion. I think that's very immature. It's just not right that she's being attacked. It's not okay. We already have a lot of issues between black and white relations in this country based on misunderstandings. In my eyes, she doesn't look like a racist. She doesn't look like a mean person, but it's not very responsible for people to try and take that jump, looking for some sort of commentary on these issues in the community. Huh! You know, that's probably the first time I've seen that response from him. Yeah, that was a really mature way to look at it, because I mean, there probably, like I said, there is a deeper conversation to be held about, you know, certain upbringings and whatnot. So it would make sense that a, you know, Christian mother like her would be so afraid of a song like Norf, because it's definitely something completely foreign to her. God knows she probably has not listened to a single song resembling Norf ever until that point. So I get what Vince is saying here, but I don't know. Without the proper context, it just looks freaking insane and a little hilarious in a vacuum, I guess. I just learned about that phrase. I think it's a banger. There's definitely some controversy to be had and conversations to be had about that, but it's already been 10 years. It's there, and it's all interesting. It's all interesting. But like I said, I don't know if Vince would ever like want to completely rap about this type of experience again, considering what he feels about his life nowadays. But like I said, I don't know any of these artists. I'm just trying to get a conversation out there. All right, I think I've talked enough about Norf. It's a banger, one of my favorite Vince Staples songs. And yeah, next track, Birds and Bees.
Birds and the bees, they wanna bees, they'll never fuck with me. Wanna bees,
they'll never fuck with me.
I caused another problem when she had me.
Yeesh.
They found a stacking paper, I'm a gangster like my. They found another dead body in the alley. What you know, we wildin' after dark. The sun comes down and if you feeling fraud, you with the shit.
Okay, no lyrics for that? God damn it, Spotify. From Daily.
Birds in the bees, they wanna be, they'll never fuck with gangster like my daddy.
Yeah, another track showcasing the pretty much horrors of his life at the point. Next track, Loca, baby. I had the save already, so I must have sampled it a while ago. Let's see if I remember.
Champagne, backwoods trying to burn your max range.
Hey,
You ain't
hey,
nothing but a vibrant
hey.
thing. Get the burning, get it cracking while you records in the yard that it's on.
Baby, crazy,
You know you drive me
crazy.
Nigga don't run up tweaking. I'm trying to have a good time.
Oh yeah, he's fucking flowing on these verses. Shout out to drugs. No, fuck drugs actually, according to Vince. Baby, no, you drive me crazy. You know you drive me crazy. Oh. Pendejo! Okay. Okay, calm down! Everyone calm down! What was she saying? What was our lovely lady saying there? Outro Olga? You know you drive me crazy. Like even if the chorus is fucking pretty simplistic, it's a groovy beat. Vince's verses were pretty nice. And I mean fuck, it's just a fun ass beat. Even if the lyrical matter is completely not. Series of statements made by Vince's Latina girlfriend, in Spanish, who is present throughout the album. You always want to be on the street with your friends like an asshole, and you never want to be in the house. You have things to do at home too. Uh-oh. You always want to be with them and never with me. What the fuck? Uh-oh. I don't know what you're going to do, but you need to get your shit together, because you aren't gonna treat me like any other bitch. Stupid. Stupid. Oh, it's right there too. You know you drive me crazy. You know you drive me crazy. The hook relates to the title track, Loca, the feminine tense of the Spanish adjective meaning crazy, suggesting the girl is crazy / drives him crazy. Shout out Lil Yachty. At the same time, his behavior and appeal in the club also drive him to a similar state of mind. The tone of the hook supports this by portraying a seductive mood that feels representative of an altered state of mind. But we all know Vince doesn't do that type of life, because he's a good boy. Sorry, that just sounded wild. Alright, yeah, another banger track. There's a reason I saved it. And yeah, you know you drive me crazy. The next track, Let Me Know, featuring Gene Aiko. Hey, sign me up, Death Row. Hold up. Be my lover, be my lady, drive me crazy about your body. Hey yo, la 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 la. Hey, you know, if there's anything the Loca track told us. Oh. Hey yo, be my lady. Other people drive me crazy. Okay, Gene, I go. Hey yo.
Tell me what you
all
need.
right.
You know
next track, Dopeman.
Tell me what you need. I got that.
Kilo Cash? Kilo Kish? Okay, well Vince kind of okay. This is a little cool. That's kind of cool if him just like floating in the background. Okay, but yeah, I don't know. Felt like a little interlude in a way. It was an alright one. Next track, Jump Off the Roof. Are we getting a freaking soul sample?
What's your addiction, baby? Love can make the bitch stir and so lift your burst with that cocaine. Pop a pill, pop was in them cocaine with drugs and I'm fiending.
Hold the fuck on. Jump off the roof. Jump off the roof. Hey. Yeah, this seems like a Vince that's like high off his fucking demand. Well, I mean, he didn't say he's fiending, so high off his demand. I mean, high off some sort of product. I mean, like the high energy on this one, Jesus Christ, and the chaoticness. Yes. No, I don't care.
You know how to shit. I pray to God 'cause I need dreaming. Highway to hell and I'm speeding.
Oh, that song was so good. Oh, that song was good. I do like the high energy and the like chaotic was that cowbell in the background? And they like the vocal inclusion in the background of the beat. Yeah, pretty good, pretty good. Unable to receive the ascension to a better life Vince asked for in Lift Me Up, he and his woman are falling victim to addiction, hence the cocaine withdrawals and life way too hard. The only way to tell if he's truly alive and not fallen prisoner to these addictions and vices is to metaphorically jump off the roof. The lyric Highway to Hell and I'm Speeding is also an obvious reference to the AC/DC song. Yes, Vince is a rocker. Well, yeah, definitely has that sort of feel of like a guy that's either on a rush and a high off of, you know, obviously the cocaine, or a guy who's completely tweaking, freaking losing his mind because he can't get that product. And yeah, it's basically a very high octane, chaotic way to express this addiction that Vince is apparently falling into on this. I don't know if he's probably talking about some people he's definitely seen fall through this. Obviously not Vince himself, but more than likely it's something he's definitely seen or experienced or heard of. Pretty good banger. Next track, Senorita. Hey. Wait, Future fucking is a feature on this? And this is the fucking... Did I not remember this? I mean, if you guys know, I have reacted to the JPEG Mafia album last year, I Laid Down My Life For You, and Vince is on that song. Is this a sample? Hold up. No, isn't this a regular Future song? This is a sample, isn't it? Is that not a Future sample? When I was growing up, a lot of people were sampling verses and making it into the chorus of their own tracks. Snow Trippin', Chunk Up a Deuce, a Millie, Gang, and Juicy J songs. It was Christian Rich's idea to put in the Future beat. The hook is the scenery, I'm trying to paint you a picture and set the mood. It's a situation and the verses are explanations. Okay, this is an actual Future song. That's kind of... Okay. Peggy, you motherfucker. The fact that he has... God, this is a very... It's not super convoluted, but there is some layers to that. A Future song, which then the chorus, or the whatever, sampled in here for his chorus. Then Peggy samples that, again, on a song that features Vince Staples. Hey. Good on Peggy. But hold up. Let him fucking cook. Has Vince and Future ever been on a song together? I don't know if I've asked us already, but if they haven't, hey, we need it. My brother's not keeping 1 that ether before I did Feature. I hit the lottery. It's totally just a piano, like a little simple piano line to it. Mile in a million, my brother's my keeping 1 My mama see that she know how to greet me, she know how to keep me, she better not get. My brother's my... I hit the lottery. Hello? This is Vince's first single for the album? Holy shit, what another banger! Oftentimes in gangs, the phrase "my brother's keeper" is used to show solidarity within the group and assurance that everyone is looking out for each other. The origin of this phrase may have sprouted from the biblical story of Cain and Abel. A 9mm handgun is what Future is referring to as his brother's keeper, meaning that it will protect him from his brother from harm. People be selling drugs, man. I ain't sell no fucking drugs though. I had a short stint, but it wasn't cool. I didn't know what I was doing, but I'm very good at math. I went to the Math Olympics from 6th through 8th grade. Ooh. Damn! Smart motherfucker. I never placed, but it doesn't matter. I was there. Oh, okay. Ether is a volatile solvent used here as a metaphor for drugs in general. Future is saying he used to trap that raw before he started rapping. Did features. Alternatively, perhaps Future was serving ether, a reference to the now famous Nas diss of Jay-Z over a song Jay made called Dead Presidents that used a Nas sample. The word is now synonymous with killing a rapper over a track before he was doing hooks for other artists. It would of course then be ironic that this line was featured on this hook. This is a good question for hip-hop in general. Music is made to get people thinking. Everybody will kill for something, and something means the world to everybody. People kill for anything these days. I mean, he's not fucking wrong. It's all about the story, man. When it's all said and done, what's the story? When you say John Lennon's name, people aren't gonna be like, yeah, this is a song and this is the video. It's, what's the story? Martin Luther King Jr., what's the story? Jesus has the biggest story. That's what really matters. Michael Jackson's story is that he's the greatest ever. It's not, oh, from Billie Jean. So that's my question. Who will you be when it's all said and done? Yeah. I mean, how many people nowadays think of John Lennon as this really bad guy? Even if the Beatles have been like one of the biggest artists ever, I mean, I feel like eventually their name is gonna fade. Well, it depends on, because there is some conversation about how, like, if you aren't keeping up with the modern age of streaming and whatnot, that's how you lose relevance in over time, because like people are just gonna forget or whatnot. And plus, time moves on, obviously, and the Beatles aren't obviously making any more music besides that one AI single last year or a couple years ago. And yeah, I mean, I think that's just how life goes. I mean, eventually people are gonna move on from the Beatles. I feel like, of course, they're never gonna like completely be irrelevant and into the endless void, because I feel like the music still has like made a very huge impact in the world of music. But I mean, like, in 100 years from now, I really can't be certain on how many people are still gonna be listening to the Beatles. Just like how, I don't know, name a fucking artist from goddamn 1925. Who the fuck still listen to artists from that time? And of course, it's weird comparing an artist from like the 1920s to the fucking Beatles, but I guess that's some sort of conversation to be held with. I don't know if it completely relates to what Vince is saying, but everyone thinks we drive lowriders and wear Dickies. Not to hit on Dickies because they got some shit. But I'm not putting that fucking suit on. That's what they think this community is, bro. That shit sucks. I've never seen that shit before. I've seen lowriders, but the people who are driving them just have a passion for automobiles. Are they criminals? Are they gang members because they fucking like a car? What is a criminal? When people meet me, they act all timid and shit. I'm fucking 5'6". I'm a fucking midget and I'm skinny as hell. Like, why are you scared of me? Jesus Christ, Vince. They scared because you thugging in public and cannot be fucked with. You tell him, buddy. People are scared of an educated black man and what he can do to change the minds around him. I mean, when summer comes and school's out, everyone is out and about. It's hotter, less clothing. You can't hide a lot of tattoos. You're hanging out in your area and that's just when gang violence spikes. You have to watch out when summertime hits. I don't know why, but it's always been like that. My friend Jabari died one summer. He was 15. At the end of the day, the mentality from earlier in the verse is thrown upon the population, forcing the people in poverty to resort to violence to get the riches in life, such as Go Yard. Vince spoke about the concept of the record and video in an interview with Sniffers. The things that happen in my community and millions around the world can position people like animals in a certain sense. We create a zoo. The zoo created is merciless, shown with the lyrics, kids crying, still snipe them. Yeah. See, I mean, it is just more than just Vince like making gangster rap bangers. There is definitely still more to it, but some people still seem to taking it as like a, Vince, I guess, glorifying it. Which, if you've heard Vince talk about his music, you know that he's completely not doing that. But obviously, people are gonna take it a certain way, and there are some times where he can't really control everyone's interpretation of it. He can try to mitigate it, but there's probably still someone who listens to Norf and is like wanting to be Vince Staples when that's like the last thing Vince wants you to do. I don't know. That's the kind of predicament Vince's music was in at the time. But anyway, next track, Summertime.
This could be forever, baby. Do you want to talk about it? You see it inside of me. Why we first the grudge that you hold my hand. If we don't love, then we fall apart. This could be for long. I think that you should know. You don't know who to listen to, but feelings known to get you killed.
yeah, a whole 10 seconds of silence, or unless it transitions into the second disc. Well, if it does, I don't know. But yeah, a very more vulnerable ending to the first disc, because this is a 2-disc album. And yeah, it basically just shows the vulnerability and I guess dark reality he's in at this point. Because I mean, when I think he says this could be forever, baby, it's like he's stuck in this type of lifestyle forever. Like he's only meant to be a gang member, an aggressive like street person. And it's like that's just what I'm meant to do for the rest of my life. And even though he wants to be here with this girl and like have a stronger relationship, it's like I don't know, it's like he's never really been taught anything else other than to, I guess, gangbang. Especially when he says like, I hope you understand, they never taught me how to be a man. It's like he's just been conditioned on this lifestyle, nothing else. And it's like, it's kind of rough out there, because I mean that's all they're really taught, and then that's how they end up in this sort of like cycle where it's like they do life of crime, and then there's like nothing else for them outside of committing crimes and getting arrested or dying. And yeah, it's just another track. It's just another track that just shows the pretty much harsh reality of it. I mean, if this song hasn't like shown you Vince's intention on this sort of lifestyle, I mean, it's probably one of the more obvious portrayals of it. The slow, darker production. It's like, I don't know, but as a song though, it was kind of a little slow for my liking. But I get the necessity for this track on this album. But let's see how this second disc goes with the next track. I think it's like track 11, Ramona Park Legend Part 2. Oh, it's a minute and a half this time. Hello? Vince?
I'm a motherfucking legend.
Is this Earl? That has to have been Earl. There's just no way. Okay, it was Earl. It was Earl. Hey, if there's anything, Earl on Vince Staples interludes have been pretty good. Then again, there's only been one Earl Sweatshirt interlude on a Vince Staples song so far that I've heard. Hey, if you've heard new Earl Sweatshirt off of FM, it's a fucking banger, and it's only like 50 seconds. Life hard, but I go harder. Life hard, but I go harder. Oh, and here comes the police sirens. Alright. He's a motherfucking legend. Next track, 3230. California. Hey, hey, hey. Look at this bass. Okay, another good rapping performance from the man himself. Good stuff, good stuff. Poppy Street. Next track, Surf.
Broken on my lad was my own boys. I'm in the plant trying to hold on. Crack for the white man. How you real when kill for your work on a nightstand. Every nigga dead to the world till his life
end. Hey. Hello, Kilo Kish.
Black kids killed from appeal in the feds in the projects. Check, you ain't even been to prom yet. 16 ain't sleep when the sun down. I ain't really trying.
What can you ask me for?
Yeah, drug abuse, Planned Parenthood, teenage pregnancy, a lot of known problems that Vince has definitely experienced. Even he says every, dead to the world till his life end. Yeesh. Yeesh. Next track, Might Be Wrong. But what is this? Who is this artist? E? What? What? Who the fuck is E? What? Who's this? And the lyrics aren't sync. Okay.
Speaking on the unjust way the justice system is justifying crimes and keeping proper laws, we've got to keep weapons on, like transgressing the precedent.
Yeah, this is also James Fauntleroy, the guy we've looked at in the A$AP Rocky video, and the guy who made Fertilizer. Yeah, where the fuck is this like actual streaming stuff? Has he just gone off the face of the planet? This guy's been a notable feature in like the 2010s. Hey, he's got a nice voice though.
Research yourself.
Wow, That one was a really impactful or like a powerful powerful song for this album, especially with the phone message, spoken word, verse, whatever, inclusion, and James's, you know, chorus singing. In this song, Staples explores rising murder rates and gang violence in his hometown of Long Beach. He seeks to understand the systematic injustices around him. In an interview with Exclaim, Staples explained, "I don't know what to blame. Is it stereotypes? Is it perception? Is it race? Is it humanity? The problem that I have with all those things is that it's not this person just killed another person. It's this white cop killed a black man. This black man killed a black man. This Mexican man killed a black man. This Spanish man killed a black man. This black man killed a Spanish man. Why does that matter if people are dying? Why aren't people just hurting people? What does wrong really mean? It's all based on the window you're looking out of." Yeesh. Cops like Darren Wilson, who killed Michael Brown in Ferguson, are getting off scot-free because they have connections with the justice system. The injustices against young black men practiced by the police are clear. Yeah, this is a well-known issue. Multiple people have already been outspoken about this type of wrongdoing, this injustice and whatnot. This is just another inclusion of a long list of examples of, I guess, displeasure with the police, justice system, and its response to, I guess, a community like Vince's hometown. Very powerful track. Very powerful track. Wow, what a track for just being a real motherfucker. Next track, Get Paid.
Pocket full of lit, hollows in the clip, I be rapping.
Get paid.
Get paid. I'll never come, I'm on the block all night. Long clip, good aim, don't run. On crib, I'm on the straw, niggas snitching on the low, never talking on the full of lit.
Hollows in the clip.
I be rapping since a kid.
Getting paid. Hey, get paid. Get paid. Get paid. Get paid. Get paid.
In the line of the fortress, call it, baby, we say Yankees. Safe in the flow, KT.
Fuck the Yanks.
Selling cocaine with my daddy out the days.
Dollars for the red.
It changed for the change.
Hey, hey, hey. Is Decimo a Long Beach native? Huh. Shout out to Decimo. Shout out to these features though. Getting a little, you know, helping Vince out a little bit. Not saying Vince needs the help, but it does add a little bit of, I don't know. It just adds a nice little touch to already. What the fuck? It adds a lot more to Vince's solo. What am I saying? Next track, Street Punks.
Ain't worried about these little niggas talking about. I don't never leave a residence alone. I'm the only conversation. If you're speaking up, me acting like you bold, get it cracking at a show. I'm trying to be the only gripping nigga sitting in the vault, and I ain't picking up the phone. Got some homies. Where your pants at? Where your stash at? I don't know if you heard of me.
I've heard of you, Vince.
Smith West shit, stuff it to the top, and we come. You a street
Punk. Motherfucking street punk. You're a motherfucking street punk. Oh, hello? What the fuck? Surprise, surprise! We got another banger on our hands. So you ain't shit. You ain't fucking shit. You're a fucking fraud. Fake. Big fucking phony. Next track, Hang and Bang.
Skinny nigga from the north side.
That's true. That's true.
Keep it hidden, tight jeans.
That's true. That's true.
Spray paint for the cap guns.
That's true.
6'5" for my enemy. Pop block where you find me.
Hello?
Chubby nigga from the west side. Push a button, get your neck tied.
That's true. That's true.
Paddle rocking in my pot to piss it.
That's true. That's true.
860 on the gun here. Hit T-Mobiles for the gun flip. West buzzing where you find me.
This like feels like a freestyle at like the lunch table kind of thing. It does give off that kind of vibe. But it's kind of fun. Next track, CNB. Not to be confused with CLB, the Drake album. Unless it is, I don't know. Certified something boy. But we got, this is like the third to last track. Ugh, but this piano.
Feeling like I am the realest nigga.
Okay.
Turn the suits and ties. We gentrified, we victimized. We fighting for survival. We're like, goddamn, I know they wanna be 'em. I I wake up, step and watch that shit you talking.
Okay.
Watch the shit that you say, okay?
Oh, Jesus. Oh, it stands for CODIS. You know what? That sounds about right.
What you saying? What are you saying? Why they hate us? Why they
40 acres and a mule. Kanye. C and B. C and B. Another track with some fucking strong ass Vince verses. Because any Vince knows how to do. It's been a good verse, a good ass verse, a cold ass verse. I don't think Vince would ever see this, but like, I'm sorry in advance. Another fucking sinister one. Good shit, Vince. But let's see how you technically ended off with Like It Is, because apparently 06 is like 40 seconds long. The talk box? The intro is who? What?
How it could be, like it is. Tell it like it is. Tell it how it could be, like it is.
Heaven and hell, boy, freedom of jail. Me and my homeboys, the police stacking money and problems as I be the one to make it up to heaven. When I was in 7th grade, my grandfather taught me don't get caught up loving.
Yeah?
But I feel like this all we got, so this all we really do love.
Yeah? What is that thing in the background? The dun,
I never seen
dun,
no
dun.
go rich.
Hello, the lyrics.
You my brother,
Okay.
hard you make it, so I'm making money for my folks.
True.
I gotta be the one. It's a set way for us all to be. But we all people at the end of the day, so I see my mama cry, see my father hit the crack, then hit the set. My time to leave or not, I never turn my back. I gotta be, I got it, body has ever done, nobody has ever done.
Wow. I know this technically isn't the last track, but it is a good way to, I guess, resolve most of the stuff said on the album, and I guess bring it to a close, or bring it on a, I guess, uplifting, lighter-ish note, because, yeah, it was a pretty impactful and another, I guess, vulnerable, reflective way to end off the album, and it's like, wow. And, yeah, you can tell with these spoken word verses, is like, yeah, Vince is trying to get a lot of final messages, final sayings off his chest before, you know, we eventually end off. And yeah, good for him. Summertime 06 comes full circle, continuing the theme presented in track 2, Lift Me Up, of Vince wanting to ascend from the hell on earth that is the ghetto. The track contains a vocal sample from DJ Drama's The Art of Storytelling Part 4, featuring Outkast and Marsha Ambrosius. The sample is taken from Andre 3000's verse. Oh, that's why it doesn't really sound like him, but this intro gives us the whole point of the track. Throughout Summertime 06, Vince has portrayed the harsh situation in Long Beach on Like It Is more than any other song on the album. Vince is discussing the root causes for the problems facing Long Beach and how to fix the situation. The sample is of Andre 3000's voice singing from DJ Drama's The Art of Storytelling Part 4. Vince's childhood and teenage years were influenced heavily by gangs and being around gang violence. Claims his brothers were heavily into gang culture, informs this line. A backhanded diss towards his siblings who might not be as successful or straight as he is. And his other brother is currently serving a 15-year sentence for home robbery. Sheesh. When you grow up in the hood, all you ever have is the streets. His grandfather gave him wise advice to not get too attached to the streets and hustle. But it was the only thing he had, so he got attached whether he wanted to or not. Of course he loves the life because it's all he had, his paths being extremely limited. After seeing friends getting killed on the streets he was raised on, Vince realized that death is inevitable, a recurring theme in a lot of his music. By seeing this mortality and seeing the streets as his only option to go anywhere in life, Vince made peace from the violence. He savored what was there and loved the streets that will never love him back. When doves cry, when a black man died, do we croak with crows? A reference to When Doves Cry by Prince. Does a black man dying evoke the image of a peaceful white dove crying, or does it evoke the image of a black crow cawing, croak, also being another word for die? Yeesh. This line is referencing the fact that racist people equate white people with doves and black people with crows. He's asking that when a black person dies, do the white people care at all, or is it only black people mourning over the loss? Vince is saying the cage they made for him and where you can find him is the hood, but no matter what fame or money comes his way, he will never turn his back on his background. Yeah, a lot of final messages Vince does want to get off his chest to, I guess, round up the album and what the album is trying to say. It is a very personal track, of course, but like, yeah, I mean, this whole album's been kind of personal in a way. I mean, that's pretty much Vince in a nutshell. He just exudes what's happened in his life and his experiences and puts it out there in album form. And sometimes it can be a ruthless banger like Norf, and or it can be something like it is, and like a more somber, vulnerable version. I think it's just a good way to emphasize the points he was trying to get across and pretty much get a lot of stuff off his chest as we round up the album. But like I said, we do have to round up the album, so we go into our technical final track, 06.
Next time on Poppy Street.
Hello?
Hope you had a good time last night.
Okay.
Pay your tax.
Okay.
Now walk and shake what you want, what you like. Yo, these niggas getting paid over there. I finna bring the gang in the game.
Oh, well, that's it. That's it. That's how we end it. Okay, now, yeah, Vince is just getting started, but it's over. It's just over like that. The narrator at the start of the song previews the next episode of Vince's life, as seen at the end of the Senorita video. Okay. The family is watching Vince's life from the outside in and reacts positively to the negative events around him. This album is set as a TV show that revolves around his everyday life. This track leaves the audience at a cliffhanger wondering what's coming next. On August 24th, 2016, the full version of this song was released on Adult Swim Singles 2016. I had no idea that was a thing, but I know Adult Swim had like Loiter Squad and whatnot. Yeah, very interesting way to end off the album. If hindsight shows us what what Vince has done in his next life, yeah, he's kind of I guess moved away from this type of lyrical export, but I'll get into that in a bit. But that was Summertime 06, and wow, that was a really good Vince Staples album. Yeah, from extreme ruthless bangers to also spoken word reflective tunes. I mean, Vince kind of gets the message across very clearly. I guess I could critique it and say that sometimes we kind of get the message he's trying to get across with the songs here. Like, I feel like there can be some songs that basically say what other songs have already said, but I guess since it's there, it's kind of just like repeating the message he got. But then again, as conversations has been held with the Norf lady, like, obviously I haven't had the same sort of I haven't had close to the upbringing Vince Staples had, so maybe there's some parts of the songs that I just didn't get or couldn't relate to, so I just write it off as just repeating himself from other songs. I mean, still, there's a lot that can be said. I said this with like Kendrick Lamar's To Pimp a Butterfly. It's like, it's really just them just exuding their experiences, but obviously not to the level of ambition as To Pimp a Butterfly. But there's still a lot of the stuff, like a lot of the positives I have about To Pimp a Butterfly you can apply here, because I mean, it is Vince just sharing what he's experienced, and I guess like certain commentaries on his life and, you know, the cycle of gang culture, and I guess the social injustices that systematically put them down. So there's a lot to take in from that, especially, and there's a lot to take in on the topic of gang violence in general, as Vince has been experiencing ever since this album has came out. There's a lot of people who, I guess, relate to these types of songs and, you know, I guess romanticize, glorifies it a bit, when if you've heard Vince Staples in interviews, you know that's not really what he wanted to do. He really just wants to showcase what he's been through and, you know, showcase the horrors of gang culture and gang violence and his surroundings and his surroundings and upbringings. But not a lot of people are gonna take it as like, oh wow, this is really fucked up, we should stop doing it. A lot of people could take it as, man, this song is a fucking banger, this shit slaps, and then you can leave it at that. Obviously, I mean, these songs are good, they are bangers, I do like listening to these songs, But there is that conversation that comes up about wanting to be that guy in Vince's songs when you really shouldn't. You really shouldn't. I mean, in a way, was it Street Punks? Street Punks kind of helps with that point. It's like, if you want to be a street punk, go ahead, but you've never seen this type of shit that I've seen. If you want to be in this life because you heard of songs that exude it and think it's cool, it's not fucking cool. It's horrific, it's scary, and it's traumatizing. We've known that with Dark Times. I mean, that's basically one where he's trying to make sense of all of this stuff that's happened in his life and his upbringing. He kind of goes into the darkness of what his life has been and trying to, I guess, like I said, try to make it more into a positivity type of thing. That's kind of how Vince's career has progressed as of that, and as since this album has dropped. Because he did drop Prima Donna, which is still that kind of dark, slower, methodical, sinister type of Vince. But then once we get to Big Fish Theory, when we get all this like dance, electronic type of music, that's when apparently he loses the fan base. And then FM, we get more of that like West Coast type of danceable tracks. And then we get to his albums from the 2020s, which is his most reflective music, I'd say. Like I said, a lot of people would criticize him for, I guess, switching up his sound and not giving the fans what they want from like the 2015 type of phase in Vince's career. But I mean, we're here pretty much a decade later, and Vince is completely further from that type of lifestyle, or at least talking about that lifestyle. He doesn't want to talk about that shit anymore because he's been through that, and in a way, I guess he doesn't want to like relive trauma. I'm not here to like be his therapist or anything. I'm not trying to analyze it that much, psychoanalyze Vince Staples, the man, but that's kind of what it feels like. It's like, I mean, if you've heard Dark Times, is like, and Ramona Park is like, you know, the song Magic, and that other song from Dark Times, like, They Want 2015, is like, you just gotta let that go. It's done. It's happened, and you just gotta let it go, because it doesn't seem like Vince is going to that sort of way in his musical output anymore, which is fine, because I think I do like what he's produced post Summertime 06. FM was one of my favorites for a while until Dark Times released, but I get it, right? If you've heard Big Fish Theory, it's definitely a very different album in comparison to Summertime 06 and Hell Can Wait, or his feature on Earl Sweatshirt's Hive. But it still works. But obviously, a lot of people, if their whole music catalog consists of albums that sound like Summertime 06, they obviously aren't really gonna get an album like Big Fish Theory, which is fine, I guess. You know, I'd suggest you try to at least widen that musical catalog, but I shouldn't really be the one to be talking about that, considering how kind of low my catalog is. But still, I can kind of see where the disconnect comes from, but I'm someone who's able to take the, you know, like I said, to take the sinister Vince, but also the soft and somber Vince. Like, I can listen to a Norf one day and then listen to fucking Shame on the Devil the next day, and I'd be totally fine. That's just who I am as a fan of Vince Staples' work. I can appreciate him being able to be that danceable guy, yet that also fucking cold-hearted bastard. And I guess that just adds more to the charm of it. I don't know what to say. It's just, I do like the variety of Vince in his music and what he can portray when it comes to a certain tone or whatnot for an album. But I will say it is very dark and not for the faint of heart, I guess, as you can tell from the North lady. But I think I might be repeating myself. If you want a fun, more groovable Vince album, I'd say FM. FM is probably your best bet. It feels like a summer album, even though it might, even who knows if the lyrical content might portray that, but still. I think Summertime 06 is definitely getting up there in the album discography of Vince Staples. Of course, I do like everything Vince has portrayed or released so far. I think it still might be Dark Times, maybe Ramona Park. I don't know. Summertime 06 is definitely another strong inclusion into the very good and very consistent Vince Staples discography. And I think that's all I really need to say. All I really can say right now. Of course, there's probably some other good conversations to be held about this, and the lyrical content, but I don't have a lot of time. And I've got a lot of videos to edit. So, with that being said, thank you for watching another Vince Staples reaction in the books. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. You know the drill. Watch my other Vince Staples reaction if you want to. Watch my non-Vince Staples reactions if you want to. Yeah, there's a reason why Vince is one of my favorite artists at the moment. It's just, I really can't say he's had a bad project after listening to Summertime '06 and pretty much everything. There's just a lot of stuff here that you can take, and it's just very good, solid, decent projects. And of course, some of them are really short, but that's a good thing. That's a good thing. We like short projects. We like short projects, so I don't have to be sitting here for 2 hours. But that's a skill issue on me, and that's not the artist's fault. Unless the album is fucking long and boring, then it is the artist's fault. Luckily, Vince doesn't have that problem. But yeah, watch my Dark Times reaction if you want to. I think that's still one of my favorite albums off of 2024. And yeah, just listen to more Vince Staples if you like that kind of music. And yeah, I'll be out. Shout out to Vince. Shout out to Earl. Shout out to Vince and Earl when they're on a track together, because they never miss. Alright, I'm out.